Brian Manning here with the weekly update. Let's get right to it. So I'm going to actually go back to last week. So Friday of last week, we got the BLS report. So BLS stands for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So the first Wednesday of every month, we get the ADP employment report. The first Friday of every month, we get the BLS report. So this is the government's report on employment. So this was employment numbers for the month of December. So there was an expectation in December that we'd get 160,000 jobs that were created. When we got the report last Friday, it ended up being 256,000 jobs that were created in the month of December. Unfortunately, the markets didn't love this, right? If you look at what happened in the markets last week, there was a big sell-off. Markets didn't love it. Why? So the Federal Reserve, and we've talked about this in the past, has two mandates, right? Number one is price stability, so that's controlling inflation. And number two is going to be employment stability in the U.S. economy. So if inflation is moving slowly and all of us are looking for unemployment and we're wondering if unemployment is ever going to increase and we're wondering if there's a softening in the employment market, and then you get this blockbuster report, it could give the Federal Reserve kind of, reason to not reduce interest rates, because they might look at this and say, well, inflation is kind of under control, or it's moving slower than we really wanted to, and employment is really strong, so we're not going to do anything. So markets on Friday did not love it. It's kind of contrary to what you would think. Normally you would think like strong employment report, employment is healthy in the US, people are excited, people are high-fiving each other, but this was just the opposite. Strong employment report didn't go that well. Then Monday, really markets were a little subdued because they started to think, wow, was that employment report really accurate? Because when we look at prior employment reports, a lot of times they get revised lower. So they're kind of starting to question the employment report, and you start to see a little bit of recovery in the markets there. Tuesday of this week was a quiet news day, not a lot to talk about there. And then Wednesday of this week, this is the big news of the week, we get CPI. So once a month we get CPI, that stands for the Consumer Price Index. This is a gauge of inflation. There's two gauges of inflation that we get every single month. One is CPI, the other is PCE. PCE is a separate report. So the excitement here was that the anticipation was that the core rate of CPI would go up on a 0.3 or 0.3% increase on a month-over-month basis, and instead of going up 0.3%, it only went up 0.2%. So the core CPI rate moved from 3.3 down to 3.2. There was a lot of excitement in the marketplace for that because most people did not think inflation was going to move lower this month, and we saw that. You see the markets react, you see bonds react favorably, stocks, etc. So it was really good to see that, and it's really good to see kind of a continuation in the taming of inflation. Thursday, another good report. So we got retail sales. This is also for the month of December. You never know how retail sales are going to go in December because of the holidays. The expectation was that sales would be up 0.6%, but retail sales were only up 0.4%. So when we saw inflation come down this week and a report that really wasn't expected, that was great to see. And you see less consumer spending, so you saw retail sales lower. Markets loved that this week, and we saw some improvement of interest rates, which was amazing to see. If you want to get pre-approved for a mortgage, give me a call. I'm available 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Reach out to me anytime. Realtors, right now we're doing Winning the Listing presentation. We're having great success with this class. We have classes coming up in Denver, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, and we'll circle back around and do another one in Boulder. If you have not already, definitely RSVP. We did our Boulder class this week, sold out. We have people lining up to get in. Unfortunately, we just didn't have any more space for them. So if you want to come to our class, make sure you RSVP because we definitely want to see you there. Hope you have a great day. We'll talk with you soon.